That's what I thought. I don't even know what that other thing's used for, so I won't even mess with that. But what I will do, reposition this cord. All right, that's good. So, okay. Always having to use the same title because of autocorrect. Well, that's fine. It can stay there. Mind if it did, but what happens for sighted people that are around or that think they've been around blind people? I can tell you. People, how are you? Welcome to the stream. Thanks for coming. Now, back to what I was saying. If people think they've been around blind people, and I'm talking about sighted people being around blind people, a lot of people will have to rethink that situation because what do they do? Always thinking that blind people are going to fall somewhere. That's an uncomfortable position to be in. Telling somebody that's blind they're going to fall down a hill or fall down some steps. What are canes for, people? That's what I want to know. And if it were true we're always going to fall down all over the place, why would a blind person even need a cane to begin with? Why are blind people taught mobility? So we'll know where we're at. That's the whole answer behind that question. Just mentioning a topic that I thought would be good. That's what. And definitely, no, you can not see my face, I know already. But if you think hard enough, can I see other people? Hey, Blind Cube, how are you? I know that's right. That's the whole reason for this topic. I hear you. But I've even had that before too, where people would accuse me falsely of having a cane used as a weapon. People, I can tell you, wait till it's daylight tomorrow, and I'm going to purposely leave the iPad somewhere and walk away from the iPad just to show I'm definitely not going to run into anything. That's what we're going to use tomorrow's stream for. That'll be the perfect example. I hear you. That's good, Blind Cube. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for coming. I heard that. Also, if you have questions about blind people, I definitely will answer any question. As I said earlier, for an example, this shirt that I'm holding happens to have puff paint in it already. Because one question you might ask, how do how do I know colors? Well, this shirt has a B in it, and that stands for blue. So that's how I know the color of that shirt that I was holding. And how can blind people tell time? Well, there's more than one way, but I'll definitely show you the original, even if it doesn't have the correct time on it now. Who could figure this out?
10:26 p.m.
Sounds good. That sounds good. But yeah, in case you didn't hear it the first time, how do blind people tell the time?
10:26 p.m.
Even if that may not be the correct time, which it's possible it could be. Who can guess what that is in this stream? I know that's right. Right? That's fine. I'm pretty sure it was for a good reason. Yep, if you guessed a clock, you're absolutely correct. I'll even let you see that in the camera tomorrow. Another interesting thing you'll be able to look at because it's definitely a weird shape. You never think they would build clocks, for one, that small or in the shape that I'm going to show you, especially with a wide screen in the front. I can probably understand it for people that would read large print, but why for a blind person exactly? So that's where it's really going to get interesting. And then the other way,
Sunday, May 3rd. Press home to open button.
well, and
FaceTime. Double.
that's exactly how you tell the date right there. versus having a Braille calendar, which I used to have a couple of different calendars, and one of them I found pretty interesting because it was big. It would have different raised pictures in it depending on what month it was, and especially if there was going to be a full moon or a half moon, there would also be different pictures for that as well. That's right. You're absolutely right. And then as far as bracelets, we can go over this as well. But I'll be able to show this better in the daytime too. But one of them have like different circles on it that are hanging at the top of the bracelet if it was on my wrist. And the other one is like little star shapes that go all the way around the bracelet. So that is another textured item. I will definitely put those back there for now. And I tell you what else. That's right. Whoops. Now, exactly how do I know if I'm ever going to hit something? I just did with the cane right there, so that's how I know. If the cane hits the item first, that's where I better stop and find out what it hit. So that's definitely how I know where I'm at in different areas, especially if I'm outside. Other than the fact that smelling certain things like plants, if they have a smell, that's one way to tell. Or listening for talking in certain buildings or outside is another real good way to tell where blind people are. Plus, different sounds with the cane. I can go there as well. Some places will echo more than others, especially if it comes to the outside of a building. So there's some more real good things that not too many sighted people are very aware of. Now, that's exactly what I have, Blind Cube. It's a flat metal tip, but the cane is a lightweight fiberglass. How did you figure that out? How did you figure that out that fast, Blind Cube? That definitely gets one of your videos shared out now. You'll definitely have to tell me which one you want shared out this time. Wasn't even planning that till you figured that out, really. But who knows what happens with streams anymore, right? That's right, I did. You know what? And I may do that again because I thought earlier that, and this is headed in a different direction, there was a fly in here that needed to be. Those things are likely to be out in the daytime more than they are at night. I absolutely did that, Blind Cube. You're right. Oh, is that the one you want shared out? Okay, I can do that. Definitely will work. I definitely will, Blind Cube. Any more questions about blind people? Because I definitely will answer. And you're welcome. So, what's everybody's plans for the rest of the evening? I mean, because there's several other things blind people can do, sighted people really aren't aware of. Now, using a crock pot, as you'll see in some of the uploads I've already done, but that just gives me another idea for later. Only if people would like to see cooking done in a live stream, because I definitely will. Welcome to the stream, Metal Music Maniac. How are you? Right? Well, that's another good mobility thing that I had to learn, that do sighted people downgrade blind people's mobility skills when it comes to crossing a road or something? Because I can definitely tell you I've had experience with it being done. Then yes, they will. Is it right? Definitely not. And I don't care how many times I prove it, but just only proves people do not need to assume. Now, how do I tell shampoo bottles from conditioner bottles? They definitely better have a different shape, or something will have to be done to the top of them. That is definite. That's right. And as far as running into furniture or anything, I tell you what, if my cane hits an item first, you better know I'm going to check something out to find out what it just hit. So, how am I going to trip a couch or a chair up if my cane hit it first with the rolling tip? Only when people want to rush me by telling me, you walk too slow. Well, what are you going to do? Make me run? And then you're going to holler, you're going to fall? Excuse you. Absolutely. You're right about that. And then what happens after that? Well, I know I've done this enough in a live stream as well. How do I clean something? Well, you've definitely seen that with the Clorox wipes. Fact is, when you hear something squeak, it's definitely clean. So why would you go back and check and say, oh, guess what? You missed a spot. How am I supposed to know that? You don't like how I cleaned it? Clean it yourself. But just so I can prove a point, make sure you're in a blindfold before you start cleaning. Yep, you're right about that. And as far as using a toaster oven or a grill, that can be done as well, but I'm talking about an electric grill that you use inside. Don't jump to assumption too fast and say, oh, you're blind. How can you? Well, we're not talking an outside grill. Even if some people that are blind might be able to use one, but I definitely can an inside grill. I hear you, Blind Cube. And if you really think twice, even if people don't want to believe it, I can definitely tell with my right eye if there's a light anywhere. So, again, people will definitely say what they want to. But does that ever stop me from being able to do things that I've already done? Definitely not. Thing is, if people think they don't learn something new every day, they definitely might want to rethink that. And I'm telling you, if sighted people rethink some of the stuff they say about blind people, even if they think they've been around a blind person, do their actions show that? I can tell you definitely not. But I bet this definitely changes people's action. Because the next time sighted people run into a blind person, might even make them stop and think. First off, should they ever underestimate blind people's ability to do things? Definitely not. You're right about that. You're right. That's exactly what some of them cooking uploads are. They're right there to prove. Don't underestimate my cooking skills. I'm about to teach you how this is done. As soon as people learn that, then they'll definitely understand it. You're right about that. And if you definitely haven't done so already, turn that thumb blue and share it out. Because I'm telling you, there's some interesting things that have been said on this topic tonight that people definitely need to check out. Now, if people ever wonder how blind people write, that would make it a whole lot harder for me at this point. Besides using technology that I already have, if I wanted to send a Braille letter anywhere at this point, it's going to be a whole lot slower because I would have to take time to punch all kinds of holes in a piece of notebook paper with a pencil. Right? Good evening, T Studio. How are you? But as far as reading Braille, and if somebody ever wanted to learn it, I'm pretty sure that I could always, well, why not make a stream out of it one time? But I would definitely have to get a set of index cards first. That would be the first step in teaching. The second one is trying to line the dots up in the correct position where people could learn it, but not do too many at one time where it would be confusing. That's good. But then the thing is, if I did that in a live stream, how many people would really find it interesting? You're right about that. That's what I had to learn when I was in school. I tell you, I think the only way they had me to learn it was with some dry beans. But then, what would I even use on the index card to make that work? That's right. Because I can tell you it would definitely take time to continue punching braille dots out with a lead pencil. Just picture if I used puff paint. That stuff takes overnight already as it is to dry out. So you definitely wouldn't be able to see it in the stream till the next day if I did that. Ooh, good idea. Real good idea. But then I would have to cut some of that off, right, Blind Cube? Because I would only need 6 holes to demonstrate that. You're absolutely right, that would. I wonder where, Blind Cube. This stream just got interesting. I heard that. You're right about that. Wonder what else I would be able to use without having to go and buy something until further notice. Oh, wait a minute. But I don't know if that would be seen even better. If I turn my Braille cards face down but only use 6 of them, or would that even work? That's what I just said. Would my cards work for that? Okay. That's where I think that's where I think we're going with the stream tomorrow. So that's really going to get interesting there. Right? That way people have a real good idea. That's right, Blind Cube. That definitely will have people wondering exactly what Braille looks like. What I did show some Braille on my cards already, but the print's already been seen on them as well. So what the idea is now is to show people what Braille looks like. And that may even give them the perfect example. Which definitely is going to be good. What I won't be able to do is go there with it now because it's not going to be seen, so that definitely will have to be done in the daytime. Right? Well, I can even help with some of that, Blind Cube. Which letters were you needing help with? Good idea, Blind Cube. I can definitely help you with some of that as well. So, any questions you know you're definitely going to have a problem with, let me know. That's good. Anything past that is what you're needing help with, right? Right? Well, and definitely for people that think they might be interested in learning, because later, after they learn the letters, which we already know, they have to get into plus signs, minus signs, all kinds of stuff. Plus number signs as well, because if you don't put a number sign in front of the letter, that's where we're going to think already that it's a letter, is because how it's, if it's written like it's a letter, it will be read like it's a letter. Oh, I know what you're saying, because anybody that's asked me about it definitely didn't want to take much time to learn it right when I started teaching them how they were even going to learn. So that should tell you something right there already. I know that's right, Blind Cube. You're you're absolutely correct. What I do now is that wasn't a bad stream there. Do you know anybody that's live, Blind Cube? Definitely go do a flow raid. I just don't have that many things I can show that with right this second, unless, like I'm going to do with the Braille card. Yep, that we're going there with the Braille cards for real tomorrow. But they're going to be a whole lot bigger than a normal Braille dot. Sounds good, Blind Cube. That sounds good, Blind Cube. Oh, okay. Definitely means we will not be doing a flow raid tonight. But this was a good stream, and I will be back with another stream tomorrow. Alright, that works. That's good. Real good. Not bad for that.